In the world of professional wrestling, countless superstars have stepped into the ring, won championships, created rivalries, and eventually disappeared from the spotlight. But there was one man whose presence alone could make an entire arena go silent, the legendary Undertaker. Known in real life as Mark William Calloway, he became one of the most mysterious, intimidating, and respected figures in WWE history. His dark entrance, haunting music, terrifying eyes, incredible strength, and unforgettable wrestling style made him completely different from everyone else. For millions of fans who grew up watching wrestling during the 1990s and beyond, The Undertaker was not simply a wrestler. He was an emotion and a symbol of an entire generation. While many superstars came and went, his popularity continued to grow year after year. Throughout his remarkable career, he captured major championships, won the Royal Rumble, defeated some of the biggest names in wrestling, and created one of the most legendary achievements in sports entertainment, the incredible WrestleMania winning streak. Even after stepping away from the ring, The Undertaker remained a name that instantly brought back memories of fear, excitement, and unforgettable wrestling moments. The story of this legendary man began on March 24, 1965, in Houston, Texas. During his childhood, Mark Calloway developed a passion for sports and became an impressive athlete. He attended Waltrip High School, where he played both football and basketball. After graduating, he continued his education at Angelina College, where his basketball abilities eventually earned him a scholarship. However, his enormous physical presence and competitive personality were pointing him toward a different future. In 1984, he entered the professional wrestling world by joining World Class Championship Wrestling and began performing under the name Texas Red. His early journey was far from easy. One of his first major matches ended in a painful defeat against the legendary Bruiser Brody, and that loss became an important lesson for the young wrestler. Instead of giving up, he became even more determined. He spent years developing his body, improving his wrestling skills, and transforming himself into a much more powerful competitor. He later joined the Continental Wrestling Association, where he returned to the ring under different identities, including the Master of Pain. He eventually captured the Unified World Heavyweight Championship by defeating Jerry, the King, Lawler, and continued building a reputation as a dangerous and dominant wrestler. Then, in 1990, everything changed. Mark Calloway signed with the World Wrestling Federation, later known as WWE, and the character that would become The Undertaker was born. He made his major televised debut at Survivor Series, defeating Coco B. Ware and immediately capturing the attention of wrestling fans. But this was only the beginning. With his mysterious Deadman character, supernatural aura, powerful moves, and terrifying presence, The Undertaker quickly became one of the most feared men in the company. He went on to defeat legendary names such as Jimmy Snuka and Hulk Hogan, while his reputation continued to grow. But behind the victories were years of physical pain, injuries, and sacrifice. During one brutal encounter with Yokozuna, The Undertaker suffered a serious injury and was forced to stay away from the ring for months. Yet every time people thought his career might be finished, he returned even stronger. One of his greatest rivalries was with Shawn Michaels, and their battles became legendary. The two eventually faced each other at WrestleMania in one of the most unforgettable matches of The Undertaker's career. Their rivalry helped create moments that wrestling fans would remember for generations. But perhaps the greatest chapter of The Undertaker's career was his unbelievable WrestleMania streak. Year after year, opponent after opponent, he continued winning on WWE's biggest stage. The streak became so powerful that WrestleMania itself seemed incomplete without The Undertaker. Fans began wondering who could possibly be the person to finally stop him. Then came the shocking moment that stunned the wrestling world. Brock Lesnar defeated The Undertaker at WrestleMania, ending his historic undefeated streak. For many fans, it felt almost impossible to believe. The man who had seemed unbeatable for years had finally fallen. Yet even that defeat could not erase his legacy. The Undertaker continued competing and creating memorable moments until he eventually faced Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 33, where he suffered another defeat. After the match, he slowly removed his iconic hat and coat, placed them in the center of the ring, and walked away. For fans watching around the world, it felt like the end of an era. The Undertaker's career lasted for decades, but his influence went far beyond championships and victories. He became a symbol of respect, determination, loyalty, and resilience. His legendary entrance, unforgettable rivalries, devastating finishing move, powerful presence, and mysterious Deadman character turned him into one of the most recognizable figures in wrestling history. He faced victories, defeats, injuries, and countless physical challenges, yet he continued to return to the ring and give everything he had to his fans. In the end, The Undertaker was much more than a professional wrestler. He was an entire era of wrestling brought to life by one extraordinary man. His career may have ended, but the memories he created will never disappear. Generations of wrestling fans will continue to remember the moment the lights went out, the music began, and the Deadman slowly walked toward the ring. The Undertaker was not just a WWE superstar. He was a phenomenon, an icon, and one of the greatest legends the world of professional wrestling has ever known.